Hello and welcome. It's 10:30. It's the 11th day of March 2022. It's 65 degrees and sunny here in Ventura, California. I'm drinking orange juice and eating a sandwich. It's Friday, which means we have to talk about all the controversy that is plaguing the tabletop role-playing game hobby this week. And of course, the number one controversy is Venger Satanis. Our buddy Venger Satanis is in the tabletop role-playing game news again about something he said on a vlog last Sunday that may or may not have been perceived as transphobic. So, warning, trigger warning, warning, not safe for work warning, warning. I'm going to be talking about that a little. I'm not going to be talking about a lot. I'm not going to be talking, I'm going to be talking about why I may or may not comment on it and how I feel it may or may not affect the hobby in general. But really, so if Venger Satanis or transphobia or trans or LGBTQIA or any of that offends you, you probably should stop watching this now. I'll give you a minute. So once again, I'm talking about Venger Satanis and his comments on the video thing that he did last week that got him apparently in some kind of trouble. So if that is a topic that upsets you, please stop watching now. Okay, you're still here, which means I guess you either care or want to get angry at me for talking about it. So anyways, our buddy Venger Satanis was on a video thing last week, and the topic of, for some reason, what's going on with the politics and dressing trans people came up, and he made a statement. I'm not going to get into that statement because it's not my place. People way smarter than me have talked about that. And I'm not trans, so really I have no dog in the fight. But some individuals were upset about this and made statements about this and posted vlogs. Some other individuals are supporting Venger. And then other individuals are like, why is this a thing? I really don't care. So Venger said whatever he said, and you can perceive it any way you want. I have no dog in this fight. I'm not going to comment on it because it's not the place of this vlog. If you want me to make a separate vlog about that, fine, I will. But again, and you can perceive what Venger said any way you want. You can, out of context, in context, whatever. I can't tell you how to think. You need to make your own choice. I will post the links down below. But he received some negative vlogs, he received some supportive vlogs, and he received some commentary that was just like, why is this a thing? One of the negative vlogs is getting a lot of heat, not because they were negative about what Venger said and not because they were getting angry at it, but because of the way they went about it. And the way they went about it was just basically 20 minutes of them saying the exact same thing. And what this individual did was he took a quote, showed what Venger was said, stopped what Venger was saying, and he had very dramatic music playing too, and then said, typical transphobia politics. And then he played a little bit more, stopped it, played his music, and said, typical transphobia politics. And he did this for 20 minutes. At no point in time did he explain positive or negative why, or why he was upset, or why he felt what he felt about what Venger said. He just went through the entire video and said, typical transphobic politics. I'm not trans, and currently I have no trans friends or family in my life. I don't know Venger personally. I don't know the guy who made the other video personally. I can't say what my political stance is on this. Whether I agree with what Venger said, whether I disagree with what Venger said, whether I agree with what the other guy said, what I disagree with the other guy said, I have no dog in this fight because I'm not trans. As far as I know, Venger's not trans, and as far as I know, this other guy's not trans. Now, maybe he is trans and took offense at whatever Venger said, and again, it's up to you to judge whether what Venger said was or was not anything worth talking about. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It's not my place to say. But if the guy was trans, then he should have said, I'm trans, I'm upset about this. But he didn't. So he's coming across as a typical white savior. I'm not trans, but I know people who are trans, and therefore I'm offended for them. Or I'm not trans, but I know people who are trans, so I'm defending them. Or I'm agreeing with gender. Or I'm disagreeing with gender. Now, if you're trans, if you're LGBTQT, then you could, have some opinion on this. If you're not trans, if you're not LGBTQT, you could also have an opinion on it. I'm not telling you how to think, okay? That's other people I'm sure are. Other people are commenting on it. Other people are saying positive things. Other people are saying negative things. I'm like, make up your own mind. I'm not going to tell you. If you want me to tell you what my political opinion is of what's going on and whether I agree or disagree with what Venger said, let me know and I will make a separate vlog. But right now, no dog in the fight. But it has come up. There are lots of videos on it, and it's part of a greater issue, which is this continuing cultural war between multiple gamers. We have, the group of gamers who played D&D before 5e, and we have the group of gamers who play D&D 5e on, and there's this constant culture war going on between them where they say we did stuff, we say they did stuff, they said we did stuff, this guy attacks this guy, this girl attacks this girl attacks that guy, blah, blah, blah. This has been going on, for a while now, but really since 5th edition and since Critical Role and since Genie D, it's become a very heated. And this is just another example. Now I don't know why this came up in a conversation which should have been about Venger shilling his product and talking about how he was told he couldn't play his product at a game store because that's important to a tabletop role-playing game, and that's something that's affecting all the hobby and all tabletop role-playing games, and that's censorship. And, Venger is a publisher. He's got public product that he's made. He was on a tabletop role-playing game vlog. The conversation should have been by, I'm Venger Satanis. This is what I made. Please buy it. This is why. I'm Venger Satanis. This is what happened to me in relation to gaming. Let's talk about it. But for some reason, this came up. I don't know why. I don't care why. It came up. Venger said what he said. You can interpret what he said any way you want. It's not my place to tell you. Videos were made in response to what Venger said. Other individuals have made videos in response to those videos. This is probably going to go on for a couple weeks until people are like, oh, Jesus Christ, let it go. So, again, I have no dog in this fight. Again, if you want to know what I really think, that's a separate vlog, and I'll make it if you want. But otherwise, I'm not going to, because I'm only going to talk about how it affects the hobby, not about trans rights and where I stand on what's going on with trans rights, because that's a separate topic. This is not a LGBTQT rights channel. It's a what's going on in tabletop role-playing game world channel. So how do I feel this is going to affect the hobby? I think it's going to continue to feed this monster that is this culture war, this nonsensical culture war that doesn't need to be happening, this civil war between us and them over how we play the game and how us people who played the game before Critical Role are bad and we played the game wrong and we're racist and sexist and transphobic and whatever else you want to call us. That's something that should have been addressed and should have been brought to rest, but this is just going to continue it. Now, if you think what Venger said is offensive, if you're trans and you're offended, talk to him. Open up a level of debate and discussion that he will respect. Don't attack him. Don't threaten him. Address the issue as an adult and open up a line of communication with him. If you're LGBTQT and you were offended by what he said, same thing. If you're not offended, but you still have some say in what's going on with the politics currently addressing trans, and again, not my place to talk about that, you could talk to him. Apparently, he's very easy to reach, and he's more than willing to talk to people. And I will point the link down below to his site. So you could address him as an adult and open up a debate with him and a discussion with him why you were offended or why you weren't offended, why you believe or why you disbelieve. But if you're just going to make videos attacking him, insulting him, threatening him, all you're doing is placing yourself in one end of the ring and placing everybody else in the other end of the ring, and you're continuing the fight. And as for the guy who made the video that's getting the most responses, you really didn't accomplish anything because you didn't provide any actual positive or negative facts. All you said is typical transphobic politics. What the fuck does that mean? Where are you coming off of? What is your level of expertise? Are you trans? Because if you're trans and you were offended, sure, yeah, it's something we could talk about. But if you weren't trans and you don't live in the places where this is going on, then yeah, there's kind of more important things you should be worrying about. You know, I mean, I'm going to close this off with a conversation I had with somebody yesterday who we were talking about somebody, and that somebody had transitioned, and this person was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yes, I understand that this is important to you, but really, in the grand scheme of things, how important is it? If we're going to compare one thing of, oh, this person came out as trans, to the 41 children that disappeared in Oregon this year, or, you know, the hundreds of children that are starving, or the fact that child abuse numbers have risen dramatically over the past year, animal abuse has risen over the past year, the war in the Ukraine, COVID, you know, there's way more important things going on in the world than whether somebody is trans or not. That's just the way I think. And you can think this trans thing is the most important thing in the world, and that is totally your right. Again, I have no dog in this fight, unless that's something you want me to talk about. Do I have a personal opinion about this? Of course I do. Is it important to what I'm talking about? Absolutely not. Do you care about what I have to say? Probably not. But if you do, let me know, and I'll make a separate vlog talking about it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. My only concern in regards to this is how is this going to affect Venger as a producer of gaming product, and how it's going to continue to affect the culture war that's going on within the tabletop role-playing game community. A culture war that really shouldn't be happening. These could all be resolved through simple, open conversations. But it's a lot easier to hate, to threaten, to get up on your soapbox and tell people how you think and the way you think is the right way, and insult anybody who doesn't think the way you think, and condemn, or champion Venger, or condemn Venger, be angry at Venger, not be angry at Venger, be angry at me, call me names, make death threats. That's easy because you're invisible. I mean, I don't know your real name. I don't know who you are. You can say whatever you want of me about YouTube. The only thing I can do is delete it and report it. The digital world gives you the ability to say whatever you want to say with very little, response. So you could do that, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who have done that, and I'm sure, it's going to affect Venger's ability to sell his product, and, that's going to affect Venger in the hobby and what he wants to do with the hobby, and it's going to continue to affect him, and that just sucks. And it's going to affect game stores and games, and it's going to continue to add food to the culture war, or the us versus them D&D role-playing bullshit that's been going on for the past 8 years, and that's just sad. And it's going to affect the sales of Venger's product, which is going to affect the sales of other product, which is going to affect friendly local game stores, and they're going to have to shut, like Seth's Games Anime here in Ventura just shut, and that's sad. This culture war is just pointless. And again, if you're upset with what Venger said, address him like an adult. Open up a line of communication with him and tell him why. And if you don't care, then move on. Is this trans thing important? Yes. Is it Venger's place in my place to talk about it? That's really the topic for a separate vlog. Whatever. I mean, I can say this for another 5 minutes and sound like an idiot. People who are far smarter than me have already talked about it. It's really not a subject I want to talk about. I don't feel comfortable talking about it. I feel there's no really way to address it without coming across as an idiot, which I am. But it happened, and we have to acknowledge it because it affects the hobby. It affects games. It affects the culture war, and it's news. And that's what we're here to talk about, is news. And who knows? This might get me a couple hundred hate clicks. And hate clicks are still clicks, you dumb idiots. So that's my 2 cents on the whole Venger thing. I feel like I just said the same thing over and over again. But, make your own opinions. The link's down below. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let me know. If you think I should have actually said something, I can make a separate vlog. Let me know. If you think I should just leave it alone, it's not my place, let me know. I can't fix it if you don't tell me what's broken. If you don't appreciate what I'm doing with the vlog, let me know and I can change it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Really, that's the best way. If I want to achieve 1,000 subs, and the best way I can achieve 1,000 subs is giving you what you want. So please let me know. That's it. It's Friday, so that means I'm done for the week. I've got supposedly a surprise tomorrow for you, but that may or may not happen, so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to leave it dangling there. Again, check out the links below for the full 411 and what's going on, and that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about it. If you want to hear more, let me know. Until then, please support me. Please subscribe. Please have a great weekend. See ya.